everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Plus podcast, a show where we talk the Marvel shows on Disney Plus and how they connect to the MCU. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011. You can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you want to join in the chat over there, you got to be a sub, but we'd love to have you in there to join in on the crazy theory talk and what you think of the show. But yeah, today we are talking about What If Episode 5, What If simply titled Zombies. What if there were zombies in the MCU, right, Moose? There has been a comic storyline specifically about this. I think it's just called simply Marvel Zombies. But this is going to be the MCU take on that concept. So, interesting episode. I know I've talked in previous episodes how I was kind of the most excited for this one, just because I was curious how they were going to, or what story they were going to tell with the zombies and how they were going to implement them. The way that this occurs as we get into the plot and all that, the rundown, essentially the situation is we're picking up at the beginning of Infinity War when Hulk is going to be transported back through the Rainbow Bridge to warn the rest of Earth of the incoming doom. We see that Earth is not how we left it, and it turns out Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Wong are actually zombies, and Hulk needs to deal with that. The situation that changed this, that caused this, was 2 weeks prior when Ant-Man and the Wasp went to go save Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm. She contracted a quantum disease of some kind? Quantum virus. So when Hank went in, he got infected. They came out of the quantum realm and kept infecting people. Luckily, Hope was able to escape, but we have that situation on our hands now. So that's how zombies are now affecting everywhere. Within 24 hours, the whole Pacific Northwest was taken over by the zombies, and everybody was, transformed. The Avengers attempted to go there and stop it. They unfortunately converted as well, so we had Iron Man, Cap, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and then I think Ant-Man was also there with them too. Oh, well, no, Ant-Man was with, obviously, him and Janet, or Hope. Jesus. Some of the Avengers got changed, so we got that problem. So they've been converted, so our biggest hope that probably could have solved this problem, unfortunately, was unable to solve that problem. So going back to Hulk arriving, being attacked by Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong, they're still able to use their powers and abilities, so Strange or Wong kind of creates this portal to help save, initially, Banner from, I'm blanking on their names, but 2 of the Thanos children in the Black Order that arrive in the beginning of Infinity War that we see in the movie. So the zombies take them out, convert them into zombies. Now Banner's on his own. The Cloak will hop in to save. Cloak seems to be the MVP of this series, as we'll see even later on. The Cloak will save once again. But the Cloak is going to decapitate Wong, or get Wong decapitated through the portal. And then we see ants attack the remaining zombies, and Wasp has arrived along with Spider-Man to save Banner and get him out of there. So we'll get the backstory of what occurred, and now we're going to see how essentially the remainder of the group has stayed alive. Spider-Man kind of has this cheesy but accurate video of how they've been can stay alive. Apparently the disease passes through saliva, so they recommend covering your skin up. And we have survivors revealed to us through this series of video that we see here. We see Happy Hogan survived, Banner, Bucky Barnes, Okoye, Sharon Carter, and then Ant-Man's friend Kurt, the Baba Yaga guy from the movies. Obviously Spider-Man as well. So the group here has discovered that someone has actually found a cure and designed a cure, and it's at an old S.H.I.E.L.D. base. So they're going to go and, try and meet up with this person, figure out the cure, and go from there. So obviously they need to figure out how to get there. So they're going to go to the train station and try and do that. They split up. One group tries to go prep the train, while the other group is just kind of keeping guard. So splitting up never goes wrong, right? Well, it does. Happy gets converted into zombie mode. Unfortunately, Sharon's unable to save him. And a big reason for this is because the Hawkeye shows up. So Hawkeye shows up, takes them out. Or at least takes Happy out. And then we see Falcon arrive, and he will attack Bucky and Okoye, and leading to a fight there. Happy and Falcon will be taken care of. They are now dead. R.I.P. While this is going on upstairs, and they're trying to, buy time for the train crew. Train crew's having a rough time. They cannot seem to get the engine started. Something's not connecting. So Spider-Man has had the idea to slingshot it to kind of kickstart the engine. So he's gaining tension in the webs. As he's doing that, it's revealed that there's a big zombie crowd on the tracks behind him. Big yikes. So, we got problems. Strange's cloak will come in for the save once again to save Peter. And we finally have enough tension, release that, and the rest of the gang will hop in and assemble on the train. So we're heading to the SHIELD base. Unfortunately, someone is on top of the train. Sharon will find out the hard way that it's Captain America, and Sharon will get converted as well. Bucky is going to deal with this. Dealing with his friend, not too happy about that. We see a fight between them, very short fight, with Cap using the shield. Bucky's eventually going to take the shield and essentially cut Captain America in half and dispose of him, then taking the shield for himself. While Bucky is fighting Cap, Sharon's already converted. They convert very fast, and Wasp gets eaten by her in tiny form. But turns out not the case. She goes giant inside of Carter and blows her up. So we think, hey, sweet, all good. Unfortunately, not all good. Hope has a exposed wound on her shoulder, and she is going to be converted at some point. Hope says, it's over, accept defeat, just put me out of my misery. I don't want to deal, turn on you guys. The rest say they're on their way to the cure. Let's wait it out and try our best. Spider-Man gives a little pep talk, super positive about the whole event. But unfortunately, as this is going on, the train is going to run out of fuel. And now in order to get to their destination, they have to make it through a whole bunch of zombies in the woods. Big yikes. From here, Hope is going to sacrifice herself for the better of the team and try and redeem herself because she feels guilty that she caused the zombie apocalypse to start because of going after her mom. So she's going to go giant mode, and she's going to proceed to carry the rest of the team as far as she can, which she seems to make it to the base, drop them off inside, and unfortunately she will get taken out by the zombies outside. Excuse me. So, we see the team get dropped off. Cool, we made it. We notice something very interesting. The zombies around the base are not climbing the fence pursuing the heroes that we have remaining. And also, there's a clear opening in the fence, and they're also just standing outside of it. So that's a little bit of a little bit odd tendencies by them. And then we get our big reveal of who has been creating the cure. Turns out it's Vision. Awesome. We got another friend. Cool. Apparently the Mind Stone, he's been able to defend himself because the Mind Stone's not appealing to the zombies, which, kind of makes sense. He is android, too, so, I don't think they're going to eat a robot, but anyways. So we learn from Vision that he's been working on the cure. Great. He's actually saved someone. Turns out he saved Ant-Man. Ant-Man is back now in his regular form. Unfortunately, he's only a floating head, similar to Futurama, in a little glass jar. So we get that reveal. Okay, cool. So we have the idea that we are going to need satellite technology to send a frequency to kind of expand the radius of, getting this cure out there. I don't know 100% what they said the cure was. It must not be of an injection of some kind if they're going to do it through a satellite. But that's the plan. As they bring up this plan and they figure out the technologies in Wakanda to do this, Vision seems really aggressive and defensive because Bucky's like, okay, I'll go get some more transports and find that. And Vision's like, you're not going to find what you're looking for here. Okay. That's a red flag. So Bucky goes on his own. Great. That always will work. As we see Bucky kind of going in the dark basement areas looking around, we're going to cut back to Banner, who claims that they're not the first group to report in at the base. Okay. We're going to go back to Bucky, and he just finds something pretty significant. He's going to find two things. One, he's going to find Scarlet Witch converted into a zombie and being contained in a cage. And he's also going to find our friend T'Challa missing, I think, a leg, if not both. And he's strapped to a table. All right. It seems that Vision has been keeping people alive and trying to save Wanda. But Wanda is resisting the treatment because of her powers. So he's essentially taking zombies and feeding Scarlet Witch to kind of keep her around. Because love. Scarlet Witch ain't too happy that Bucky saves T'Challa, breaks out of her cage. Alright. We got a little bit illusion, or not illusion, a little foreshadowing with Kurt referencing Baba Yaga earlier in this episode, which we have heard in the films too. I think it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. And not rightfully so, but he set up this perfectly. He's going to get taken out by Scarlet Witch and consumed. So Kurt gets taken out. Vision decides to say F it and help out. He's kind of feeling bad for what he did. Unfortunately, Okoye is going to get taken out. Vision's going to stay and atone for his sins. Or his actions. Pulls the Mind Stone out of his head to pass on to Banner and the remainder of the group to use that to, stay. As soon as he pulls the Mind Stone out of his head, the remainder of the zombies are going to move into the base and finally attack. Bucky decides that he's going to stay and buy time. Okay. I can't remember if Bucky got, thrown by Scarlet Witch into Infinity and Beyond, or if he died officially. I don't remember, but that fight doesn't last very long. So right now, our remaining members are Banner, Spider-Man, T'Challa now on the team, and then Ant-Man being in floating his head, essentially, with the cloak lifting him around and moving him around. Banner says, they found the transport, they're going to it. Banner gets attacked. Hulk actually saves him by transforming for a second and kind of creating a barrier for his skin because it's so tough. So Banner says, all right, gives the Mind Stone to Spider-Man, says, I'm going to buy you time now, and is able to Hulk out, and then he fights Scarlet Witch along with some other zombies. So that was cool. The guys are able to take off in the plane, this group that I said already. But then we get caught by the Wasp. Once again, still in her giant form. She's going to grab the plane for just a moment. T'Challa's going to kick the engines, and they're able to get out of there. Whoopee. Awesome. So, surviving members, we only have 3. And the Cloak. Cloak, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and T'Challa. So, they take off. They're heading to Wakanda. We're going to make it to Wakanda, and we're ready to use the technology. We see that the barrier bubble shield thing is down, and we see that there's a bunch of zombies outside. But unfortunately, as we're flying in, I don't know if our main characters see it, but the audience will be revealed that Thanos is there with the Infinity Gauntlet, with, how many stones are there? 6? He's got 5 of the 6. He's only missing the Mind Stone, similar to the movie being the last one he claims. And he has also been transferred into a zombie, waiting at Wakanda for our heroes. And it's going to go to credits right there. So, interesting story. I think the biggest thing about this episode is that thunder was really loud. I don't know if that went in the mic. I think the thing that's interesting about this story is the potential for its continuation. This one is the biggest, like, oh shit, there has to be something after this. We've kind of alluded to it with the other episodes, where maybe season 2, they'll continue some of these stories, whether it's Captain Carter, whether it's, T'Challa being Star-Lord, with the Peter Quill and Ego thing, or it's the zombie mode here. So, big question mark. I'm talking fast just in case we lose power, so just heads up there. So, has to be a follow-up to this. I'm excited for the follow-up. I did feel this went fast, like some of the other episodes have. Granted, we only have that 30-minute window of episodes. So, we'll see. I don't think it was their strongest episode, which, like I said, I know other people I've talked to about the series. They're like, I'm not really feeling the series, and I get that. I think I'm more excited to see the continuations of each of these storylines compared to the introduction that we're getting. Like, this is a good setup, but it hasn't, like, hook, line, sinkered. That's a weird phrase, but it hasn't fully reeled us in. So I think maybe the follow-ups, with it being hopefully a little bit more fleshed out, might be interesting. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up my thoughts there. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. I hope you guys are still enjoying the series. I mean, it's good to be critical of these things too, as we should be. It shouldn't just be all like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. Because, it makes more fun conversations. If we're all just on the same page where it's 100% like, yeah, this is amazing, then it's cool because we can all geek out, but it's fun to have those conversations with differing opinions and viewpoints to kind of figure out, like, yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. So yeah, we'll have to see where it goes from here. Obviously, Tuesday we got another episode. I wonder, once again, if they're going to continue these storylines in this season, or if it's going to be waiting until season 2. And if so, like, will we be interested by then with the gap? I don't know when season 2 is happening, but I assume animation has to take some time to get done. This has been another episode of the Marvel Plus podcast. My name's Bret, aka Enigma911. You can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch it live, that's A-okay. It's posted the very next day over on YouTube at 12 noon Eastern, so you can check it out over there. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, and hopefully we can talk about it next episode. Thank you guys for giving this a watch today, giving it a listen. Appreciate you guys hanging out and supporting this podcast, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.